I just hit record audio. Hope you guys can hear me.
Let's get the party started.
Let's get it.
Do I look hideous? Cool, look, I can see myself there.
Yeah, that's a benefit of having 3 angles.
Yeah,
For sure. That's sick.
for sure.
How you feel, Jay?
I feel good.
Yeah. Long time coming, for sure.
Yeah.
I think it was about to happen that me and you were going to work on something together for sure, other than like weddings.
Yeah, or like any other kind of video and
shoot.
photo.
But I liked it, and honestly, the way we're doing it, I think is probably the best. Like I just like having a lot of angles on cameras.
Yeah.
I don't know, not always me on camera.
Oh, I hate being on camera. I hate. You don't get that? I hate being on camera.
Yeah, I don't enjoy being on camera, but
Yeah.
I know that if I want to like do more things,
Yeah.
I think we have to be on camera.
Yeah, a little bit. I know, and like, I don't know, maybe because it's not my comfort zone doesn't mean like it can't become my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Because I literally, like, when I work with clients, I lie to them and be like, no, you're gonna be fine, don't worry. It's like, especially when it's like a reoccurring thing, like if we're working on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what, third time around you're gonna nail it like it's nothing. Little do they know that I do not believe myself when I say that.
That's so funny. What I like when we shoot with clients is like we do, hey, one more photo. It's
Oh,
like
no.
20.
No. Don't get it twisted. You say that. You say one more photo, 100 photos.
That's so funny. It's so funny how that works. Let's really back a little bit. Let's talk about, I really want to get into, obviously this is our first podcast.
Yeah, first one.
Should we introduce the name of the podcast?
Yeah,
People
let's do it.
know once they see it. And I want to say that Jair came up with this podcast name. When we were
Everything else is Danny's fault.
Yeah.
In a good way. He, like, if it wasn't for Danny, like, not just like being persistent, but like seeing it through, getting the things together, and like just doing it, it's literally all praise to him. He's the one that got it together.
Yeah, I really like Jaid's creativity. Like a lot of people love it. I really, really love it. And like when we go on shoots, sometimes like I can do the video of it, but I just love him being there because he's so creative in a lot of other things. Like he sees things that I don't see. So basically when we thought about this podcast, or I brought it to his attention, it was like, I'll invest anything I have to, but I really want you to be obviously that creative, like engine about the podcast. So like the lights and stuff like that you see, like how it looks. It's definitely a lot of input. This guy, everything else, I guess you could say is pretty much mine, but I've invested a lot of it into our 50/50 podcast.
Yeah. No, definitely. And I'm excited for it because I think as much as like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of being in front of the camera. And even aside from that, like just speaking in general is kind of like, if I don't have to speak, I won't, right? Even though sometimes I am a loudmouth, but I don't know. I think it's beneficial in multiple levels. Yeah. And Eric, for those of you who don't know Eric, everybody knows Eric, right?
Eric, yeah.
No,
definitely.
For those of you who don't know Eric, he's a good friend of ours, and we were talking about the benefits of sitting down, especially with friends, and just having good conversations. And as you guys will come to find out, this conversations might revolve a little bit more around the creative realm. With photo and video and such. But at the end of the day, they're still conversations. And I think they're conversations that we have all the time, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to point out. I was like, I talk to Jair probably twice or 3 times a day. Yeah. And it's always a conversation about how we can grow, how we can do better, how can we better our quality of photo and video, how we can better just anything. And also like our mindset going into things, or how we attack things, or how we can better those things. And like we always have those conversations and we're like, man, we really need to start a podcast to talk about those things, because we spent 30 to 40 minutes talking.
Yeah.
And we're like, man, we should have just put that on a podcast.
Right. We should have pressed record, or what is it called? You screen record your conversation.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. Let's Jair came up with the name, so I think it's fair that Jair will tell us the name of this podcast.
Yeah. All right, cool. The name of this podcast is going to be called The Photo Room. And it was just a name that we liked as soon as we kind of just came up with it. Danny was like, that's the one, right? And we wanted to keep it simple. We didn't want to get too crazy with it. And we wanted it to revolve around what we would be talking about, right?
Exactly.
So it made sense. If you guys hate it, don't tell us. But yeah, that'll be the name, and we're gonna stick with it. I think I like the simplicity of it more than anything.
When I mentioned it to people or close people like my wife and my brother, which I talk to a lot too, he's like, aren't you scared that just the photo room will just be constrained to the photo room, like just photo, just video, or anything related, camera gear, which yes, there might be a lot of, but we also thought about, bringing on people who use photo and video and that are not necessarily photographers or videographers, that how do they use it to their advantage? Maybe like business owners, which you've worked with a lot, and I'm assuming that you can speak more on how that benefits them as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. And well, just to kind of continue to talk about the idea of the room and how we could feel a little constrained with like ideas or things like that. I mean, it's what we do, and I think we already talked about as far as kind of, I don't know, constraining ourselves. We have so much to talk about, so much to talk about, so many sides of the story, so many different, alleyways that we could take within photo and video, and how it affects, every day. So I don't think we'll ever run out of discussions.
No, I think there's going to be always something to talk about. I mean, social media evolves every single day, and we're on social media
all the time.
As much as we don't want to, I think we have to
a little
just
bit
to see like, hey, what's going on or what's new, or I don't know. I'm always thinking about.
Speaking of which, and I think now that's a good kind of like segue into somewhat of a topic. Do you feel like sometimes being on social media like prohibits you from being creative, or it enhances your creativity?
I think it's like 50-50, maybe more 60-40, and it's 60 like I wish I could be doing those things that other people are doing sometimes, and then 40 is more like it motivates me to do more. You see people like, I don't know, just very famous photographers that you see, and you're like, man, I wish I could do that and something travel and do all these things that we want to do. But we understand sometimes that social media can be very deceiving. It's not always what it seems. And that's kind of what takes me down and be like, oh man, like I do want to do it, but I don't want to feel that pressure, or to be able to be like, okay, I have to do that and I have to do the same exact thing. But I feel like my time will come. Like, of course, I won't. I'm here. I'm trying to do my best here, but I know one day I'll, fish out and do other things as well. So
yeah, for sure. I think for me, especially since like the new wave of reels, right? Like obviously TikTok and things like that. It's like when I work with clients and like trying to keep up with trends and not keeping up with trends, and just being sure that they're creating content that they enjoy, it's a little bit of 50-50 where I can get too drawn into some trends where I feel like, oh, that'd be cool, but then I forget what other cool things we can just create. Right?
Exactly.
So I try to check myself as far as that goes. Like, I wouldn't want to get so strung up on what's going on social media that I forget that I can do other things, or things that I think is cool, so it's a little bit of both, right? Where it's like learning how to manage that, like being like a responsible kind of like intaker of social media, right? Like not taking so much that you kind of like you live and die by it, But then also grabbing some of those ideas and working, your magic on it and seeing what you can do from there.
Yeah, because you do need to take a break sometimes for social media because it's too much. Like TikTok obviously is like one of those things where it's like you keep scrolling, it's never ending.
Never stops. Yeah.
Never stops.
Never
and then
stops.
you text like 10 people a TikTok, which I do a lot to you.
You do that, yeah.
But I do, in my defense, I do send you a lot of things that could work maybe for clients.
Oh, yeah. And which is great because a lot of those things, like, it's almost like a good rabbit hole and a bad rabbit hole,
Exactly.
right? It's like you go down a good rabbit hole and you're like, oh, wow, this would be great and we can make it like this. Or this would be great and just using this trend.
Exactly.
And you can just, get a lot of ideas that'll be good for a lot of content and that would be beneficial. And then the not so good rabbit hole of like you're watching stuff and you're just thinking to yourself, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
Man, I'm never going to get there. Or other things that is just kind of like a waste of your day at the end of the day. And I'm not talking about having a good laugh because I love when I'm watching like a funny TikTok or reel.
Yeah.
And it literally just makes me laugh out loud. But we all know that sometimes we're wasting a little bit of time there.
A lot, yeah.
But
yeah, it is definitely like a love-hate relationship with social media sometimes, for sure.
It can be.
Let's talk a little bit about like how we started, because I know a lot of people will be interested to know how we started doing photo and video. I know we all have like different pathways, and we ultimately ended up like being in the same path.
Right.
But I'll let you take that on if you want to talk about how you started.
Of course. I started in college. I always had like a fascination. Like I remember being young and like watching the Sports Center like top 10, and they would have like a highlight reel essentially kind of leading up to what the top 10 was.
Yeah.
And so I always thought that was so cool, how they, the transitions they did, editing to music, the kind of music, the kind of clips they used. Like it always fascinated me. Never in my life, fast forward, did I think I would do that.
Yeah.
But I thought it was always so cool.
Because you were always into sports.
Yeah, because I played baseball my whole life.
Yeah.
So, Sports Center was on every day, And then in high school, I was in yearbook because I thought taking pictures was cool. And so I was able to like shoot some sports for my yearbook.
Cool.
And it was cool. And I think it was one of those things where I think a lot of people thought that, or not a lot of people, no one was thinking about what I was doing. Maybe like three of my
classmates.
Three of my friends, I don't know, were thinking that, I don't know, that's just something he's doing because it's an easy objective.
Yeah.
But I genuinely wanted to be in yearbook so I can take pictures and, work with the designing stuff of it, all that. So, move on to college. I don't do much, photography or anything like that. Still very intrigued, still taking photos with my cell phone. Yeah. Sunsets, I went to a college next to a beach, so, beach shots and things like that.
Very romantic of you.
Yeah, very romantic. Taking photos of nothing. So I definitely always interested. And in college, while I was still playing, there was a coach from a travel team that I had played with. Shout out Jeremy Kirby. Dugout Creative now. They're popping on Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they do a great job. And so he invited me to go take photos of some of the younger kids' tournaments that he was hosting through his company called Rawhide at the time. And so I told him, I was like, I don't know how to do that, like... What am I supposed to do? It's like, no, don't worry about it, man. I've seen your Instagram. You could do something, just come out. And so I did, and I was getting paid to shoot photos. Still learning. I was shooting on an iPhone, portrait mode, and I was just taking pictures that I thought looked cool and posting them on their Instagram. So that was like a, I don't know, just like a gift, like out of nowhere, it kind of just falls on your lap, it feels like. And I was getting paid. So it's like, what better thing that I could possibly get, right? Like I was learning how to do something with photography and I was getting paid for it while I was doing it.
That's sick. And how old were you at this point?
I was 20, 20.
20.
I think I was 20. Yeah.
Oh, dang.
I think I was 20. So I think there is when I learned like the power of capturing something and posting it on social media. Like that's when it really started to, like I started to understand that. And at the time, obviously, people were already using social media.
Yeah, exactly.
The way they use social media. But now it was coming to a level where the normal, like the mom and pop was starting to use social media. You know, micro influencers started becoming a little bit more popular. And just for me, I think I came in at almost the perfect time of like the availability of like equipment.
Yeah.
Like the preset, like the Lightroom stuff being able to be on your phone. You know, things were going mobile, so it facilitated a lot of things for me that if I would have gone in any earlier, I think, you know, a lot of those things wouldn't have been around, and I wouldn't have been able to come up with those. Exactly. You know, some of the work that I had done. So, yeah, I did that. I came back home, and my brother's a through and through businessman, salesman. Yeah. Like
all about it.
Yeah, he 24 hours a day, 365 kind of guy, which is great for me because it puts me in a good position to.
Yeah, he had a lot of projects for you.
Yeah, like he had a lot of projects, so it put me in a great position to practice my craft and then again keep getting paid. So, you know how they say it's like when people say like, "Oh, I came from nothing," like I did it all by myself. Like, absolutely not my story. Like, my story is that I had people that were willing to let me learn and help me, you know, as I learned, and just provided a lot of things that I wouldn't have been able to provide for myself. So, I came back home. My brother was awesome enough to kind of take me under his wing and provide a lot of the gear that I needed, and like didn't think twice about it, just did it, you know. So yeah, I continue to do that, and then, man, it's been what, 4 going on 5 years?
Dang,
4 going on 5 years, and I mean, dude, it seems like it was so like fast, so fast, right?
Yeah.
But you know, when I think about it, it was a lot of hours, sleepless nights, going to bed late, getting up early. Yeah. Like it was a grind, but it was a grind that I was enjoying. So it's like I never thought to myself like, this, I'm getting tired of this life, you know? And there's things that of it that I'm not like, that I'm now like my mentality changes. I remember all I wanted to do was work 24/7, you know? I wanted to work all day, every day. If I can make, you know, 100,000, 150, 200,000, like that's the goal, you know? Like, so now I'm like, dude, I want to work to my heart's content. You know, I don't want to be like a slave to my own work. Like, I want to be able to go to work, make some dope stuff for dope people, and then just, you know, kind of clock out.
Yeah.
And obviously that's not the realm we live in. I understand that. Like, and a lot of you that are already, you know, doing photo and video, or video, whichever one, you understand that it's very hard to accomplish that there.
Late night edits, all that stuff.
It happens.
Expectations. Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot to deal with, and it's so hard to say that you're done for the day when you know there's a lot of things still needing to get done. But that's the goal now. Instead of saying, I want to work 100-hour week, you know, like maybe I thought I would want to at one point. Now I'm like, dude, like 30 hours sounds great.
Yeah.
You know, like 30 hours.
A little part-time.
25. Yeah, that sounds awesome. Can I do that?
That's so sick.
So that's, things change as I mature, as I grow, life changes, and obviously your mentality changes along with it. So yeah, that's kind of my story as you see me now.
Yeah. There you go. For me, it was, I look back at like home videos and I see that I was doing a lot of camera stuff. Like I was always the kid behind the camera, like filming my family and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Never edited back then because I never had like the software, or didn't even know about it. I just knew I wanted to record stuff. And then fast forward, you know, my years in middle school and high school, I didn't pay attention to photography just because I was so invested in sports. So soccer was my main thing. I played basketball a little bit, football a little bit. My mom took me out because she thought it was so dangerous. Like football, it's very, very dangerous.
Yeah.
But so is soccer. Like soccer's brutal.
I think you get injured more frequently in soccer.
I think so too. Which my mom, don't tell my mom, but yeah, that's how it was. So once I graduated, I went to San Diego for like college, you know, and we got another camera out there with my brother. My brother was very into recording a lot of stuff with his family. And I've always had that itch of making memories and things like that with my own family. So when, you know, I got married and when my son was born 6 years ago, I wanted to also capture those moments with my family.
Shout out Moy.
Yeah, shout out Moy, a little YouTuber there in the making. So then once he, was born, I, for whatever reason, felt that a drone was the perfect camera.
Makes perfect sense, yeah.
To capture these moments.
Get a drone.
In my head, I literally thought like a stroller, like pushing him a stroller around the street, and then the drone just like following us. I don't know.
It's not the craziest idea. It's definitely a way to capture
I
things,
guess so.
right?
But for whatever reason, I thought the drone was the perfect camera to do so. But then my friend, a good friend of mine, Roberto, he kind of, he was like, hey, do you want to shoot a wedding, like a pre-wedding in Ensenada, and you can take your drone? And I was like, I don't know, dude. Like, I never flown it. Yeah. And then I knew we were going to go to the ocean. It was, like, terrifying me that it was terrifying to know that it would be, like,
out
anywhere.
In the water. Yeah, over the water.
Yeah, near the water.
Yeah.
And I got my first drone. Like, I took the drone with him, and he paid me, like...
Shout out Roberto.
Yeah, shout out Roberto. He paid me, like, $50 to... And I wasn't expecting him to pay me. I just, I was happy to go with.
Of course.
And he paid, like, all expenses and, like, $50 for it. And I was like, dang, that's sick.
I'll take that.
Yeah. So then just, like, a bunch of things, like, happened from there. It just gave me a bigger itch to, like, capture those memories with my family. And then it just slowly started... one wedding, 2 weddings, 3 weddings, and just every weekend it was a wedding. And I was just really soaking in a lot of what he was teaching me, and he's like, man, you should do this. And then he was always like, hey, when you have clients, you should do this. And when you get clients, do that. Don't do that. Things like that. And I was really soaking it in to the point where my wife was like, hey, man, like, we don't need that money that he's paying you. Like, and your weekends are just completely booked.
Yeah.
Just stay home.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know.
Quit acting a fool, Danny.
Yeah. And I was just Amazon after Amazon box coming in of like gear. Yeah. Super gearhead, by the way.
Oh yeah.
And my wife was like, hey, if you're gonna be like going on the weekends, might as well just make them count for you. And I was like, you know what? That's such a great idea. So then I just started booking photo shoots and, things like that. And then slowly got into more like weddings, and then managed to get a team of like people to help me do weddings. And by this time I was working full time at Chase Bank, and then doing photo and video at nights.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, like I would leave work at 6 and book a 6:30 photo shoot at the park. And it was just consistently like every other day, sometimes every day. And I finally knew that I can make somewhat of a living with it. But for me, it was very scary to leave that 9 to 5 because it was such a secure job. And that secure paycheck to just be like, oh, like, what if I don't have a photo shoot that week or that day or a wedding, like, which would make me more money. And luckily at this point I was like 5 years in doing it part-time, or 4 or 5 years in doing it part-time, and then managed to obviously meet you throughout those years. And Jair, and I will always say it, I've got like City of San Luis as a client. I got just a bunch of weddings down and a bunch of other clients that Jair would go shoot when I wasn't able to because I was working a 9 to 5. And if I've always said it to him and said it to many people that if it wasn't for Jair, I wouldn't be able to do it full time because I wouldn't have kept those clients. Like they would have gone with somebody else.
That's why he sends me 10% of his salary every month.
Almost.
I get it. Every month.
And I wasn't even paying him that much in the beginning either, because I wasn't charging.
Yeah, I mean, it was like perfect for both of us.
Yeah,
because
I think so.
For me at the time, it was more money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was shooting, and I was doing what my job was.
Yeah.
Even though I wasn't the one acquiring the client. It was a perfect scenario because you needed someone to go shoot it. I was available to shoot it.
Yeah.
I would make my money and I would hand off the memory card and I was done with it.
Yeah, that was the cool part, is that I would edit. I mean, it would be cool for you because I would edit everything.
Yeah.
But then I was like right after work, like
so
getting the memory card, editing everything,
sending it out.
Yeah, sending it out.
Any kind of revisions, things like that.
Yeah, planning everything. It took a huge toll.
Mm-hmm.
But then, kind of like a blessing in disguise, last year, April 2021, Chase decided to eliminate my position. And Jaid would always be like, dude, just quit your job. Like, just
How many
quit.
times did I have that conversation with you?
I think a lot. But you wouldn't just be like, just quit. You would really be like, look, this is what you need to do. And Jaid's always a numbers guy. He's like, dude, okay, how much do you need to make a month?
Yeah.
And I'd be like, so much. And he like, dude, that's only like 20 photo shoots a month.
Yeah.
Worst
case scenario. Worst case scenario, all you're doing is photo shoots?
Yeah.
It's just 20.
Exactly. And that's what he would always say. Or like, dude, if anything, like, just come shoot with me. We'll do this and that. And I'm like, yeah, I know it's like, but easier said than done. And I would just be very skeptical about it. So when then Chase took that position away, I soon realized that nothing is secure, right? Like, ain't nothing secure.
Yeah, you just gave me chills, pal. That was great.
Dude, nothing is secure. Like, I thought I had a secure 9 to 5.
Right.
People would come to me at the bank, like kids, and be like, dude, you have a good job.
Yeah.
I was like,
I wish I can be a banker.
yeah. It's like, yeah, I do. Like,
Yeah.
Like, I mean, compared to maybe people, waiting or tables, working retail, which is like unexpectable. Like, they work from like, 9 to 11 p.m.
Yeah,
I'm working from 9 to 6. It wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
So our hours were pretty cool. Pay was really good.
Yeah.
But it wasn't secure either.
Yeah.
Like, you could lose your job.
Yeah.
Like, the next day. And they treated me well. Like, my out was not like abrupt, like it wasn't like,
yeah, they didn't just throw you out on the street.
No,
they gave you options. I remember that.
Yeah,
right?
they gave me options. I didn't like the options. And at this point, I've already been doing photo and video for 5 years.
Yeah.
Going on 6.
Had plenty of clients.
Yeah. And I had already like 6 weddings booked for the following like October, November, December. So, or September, October, November, December. And I was like, I talked to my wife, and my wife was just scared, right?
Yeah,
like,
of course, Angie.
Yeah,
was scared. Poor
she's
Angie.
just like, Angie was like, I don't know, and
she was all questioning your work. So she's like, "Are you that good?"
I was like, "You always say I'm good."
I don't know if you're that good though.
How can you imagine Angie? And she's very like, sometimes she can be very blunt, and honest. But
who told you were funny?
Wasn't me.
Wasn't me.
Shout out Joe Coy, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy has definitely made some trips very short because of his Netflix special.
That's a funny. Yeah, that's a cool little fun fact for us that we do some stuff in San Diego throughout the year. We'll do it like, I don't know. Danny does it more often, but I'll be with him like 4, 5, 6 times a year sometimes.
Yeah.
So on the way back, it never fails. It's a some kind of stand-up comedy.
San Diego is like 2.5 hour drive from Yuma, so sometimes we do it in a day. Like, we'll go and then shoot, come back the same night.
Yeah.
And like, it'll
Staying
be 10
up
p.m.
is hard.
Yeah, 10 p.m. And when it's to laugh, like, it's fun.
Yeah.
So then finally I kind of convinced Angie that it's going to be great, and it's not going to affect our lives that much, other than me being home more often.
Positive effect.
Yeah, it was a positive effect. And yeah, you have that like questioning, like, hey, is there going to be an income? But just talking to people like Jaid, my brother, he's like, it's going to be cool. It's going to be good. Like, yeah, there's going to be some months that ain't nothing happening, like August. then we decided to just go full time.
Yeah.
You know, full time photo and video. I think the best thing that happened to me was kind of what happened to you with gear.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything was pretty much paid for.
Right.
Like, you know, with like your brother, I know was with his jobs, he would like always get you like a lot of equipment.
Right.
And for me, it was like I had already invested a bunch of equipment, got into debt, and eventually paid it off.
Yeah.
So I didn't owe any of my equipment by the time I went full time.
And you had a lot of it already.
Yeah, a lot of it was already, you know, acquired. So I didn't need to buy a lot of stuff, but that doesn't mean I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can
I
always
know.
like justify any purchase.
Yeah.
I think like any time, and that was kind of my thing, that I would justify about everything. And but I think this time around was different. I would really know how to budget and really know when to buy and when not to buy, and then when to buy, when not to buy, and also saving up maybe now to buy stuff, and really know if I needed to invest in something, I would really just go for it.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, long story short, if it wasn't for Jair, I wouldn't be able to do this full time.
Boom.
But
there it is. And that's how we end the show. Everybody have
but when we met, it was cool because we met through the bank.
Yeah.
So it was like, it's really cool to meet. I met his brother, and then I met Jair when he went to a visit because they opened up like a business
bank
account or
account.
something.
Yeah, a business account for him.
And then we just stayed in touch. And it was like, hey man, like I need somebody for this wedding.
Yeah.
Are you down? And he's like, man, I'm so nervous. I remember you're like, I'm so nervous to shoot weddings. Like that's so much responsibility.
It's a lot of responsibility, dude.
To like keep everybody's stuff. And like I remember you had like, you only had like 3 memory cards and you keep everything saved in your memory cards.
I was the worst because you gotta think about this. When I was shooting, especially early on, like although I had a lot of help, it wasn't a photographer's help or a videographer's help.
Yeah.
It was people that were willing to just like, hey, like come work with me and you know just do whatever you can.
Yeah.
So like no one told me like get a hard drive. Or like I don't know, you know, like all those things like format your memory card when you're done.
It would stress me out, man.
Dude, I just didn't know. I just didn't know what I didn't know.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
And like obviously the more that I did it, you know, week after week, month after month, and I'm starting to realize like I have like 12 memory cards. Why? Because they're all full.
Yeah.
You know?
And you just wouldn't erase anything.
No. Well, part of that was my fear of losing, you know, files that I needed. Like I don't know, you know, you shoot something that's pretty important, or you're working with someone important, or you feel like it's important, and you don't want to mess anything up. So that was part of the reason. And dude, I didn't get a hard drive for like, I don't know, a year and a half.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was forever, but I mean, you look at it hindsight, like I still have a bunch of memory cards that are in great condition.
They're great shape.
Because I hardly use them. I hardly use them. Like they were used for like, I don't know, a week.
Yeah.
And then they'd just be in storage in a sense.
I remember Jaid one time let me borrow one of his memory cards because he shot something on there, and I went to go like save all the like dump all my footage of it into the memory card, and then Jaid had like just things from like a year ago on it, and I was like, Jaid, you don't format your memory cards? He's like, no.
Like, why would I do that?
And I'm like, Jaid,
isn't that where you keep everything?
I was like, where's your hard drive? And he's like, I don't have one.
Now I have 12 of them.
Yeah, it's insane how much we have. Yeah, I have a lot of hard drives too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think we learned off of each other a lot. I learned a lot of things from Robert. Roberto Carlos, just you know, he really took me under his wing, and like a lot of things that I know, I've learned from.
Right.
That, and I really took everything.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there's
Soaked
nothing that I didn't take.
Yeah.
And
he took his money.
I did take a lot of his money. Yes, till this day, he'll pay me, and I still work with him sometimes.
That's awesome.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I can't, like, if I am available, I will.
Yeah.
He knows now that if I'm not available, I can't.
Yeah.
Just because we have definitely started this business and just gone full force.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I do thank him a lot for you know, everything that he's done for me, for my family. I mean, it was tough times at beginning, you know.
Yeah.
But I remember I invested a lot, like I invested in a $2,000 camera, like right off the bat. Like I've been working with it for a month, and I was like, let me see what this credit card does.
Yeah. Let's put this to good use.
Yeah, and I did, but you know, it was hard, man. It was hard times at that moment in my life trying to figure out if I really wanted to do photo and video.
You got to go through it though. You have to go through it.
Yeah,
like there's nothing that can teach you to that, right? Like no course, I don't think, like no tips and tricks from another is gonna teach you it unless you live that. So, especially as a creative, and I think like you have to go through it. And I always told myself, like this has to happen. This struggle needs to happen for me to get to the other side and to be good. So, like I wouldn't take it and like be like down on it or beat myself up on it. I was more excited that I knew this had to happen. And I was that much closer to being on the other end of it.
Exactly.
And I remember like even telling Ariana, like it doesn't feel like that long ago, but telling her it's like it's gonna pay off. Like whatever it was, whatever it however what situation we were in, it's like it's gonna pay off one way or another. It'll pay off, and it does. Like it does. But now we're in a situation where it's like this is what I do. This is how I make my income, and not to say that I feel like, okay, here, I'm good here, I'm done.
Or you're successful.
That I'm uber successful. I don't feel like I'm all that there yet. But from, how it was to where we're at, it's a big difference. And a lot of those things do pay off.
Yeah.
So it's dope.
I think that, you get what you put in.
Of course.
Like if, people that maybe go out every single night or they I don't know, they spend a lot of the money or they're doing a lot of things, they're obviously not getting, what they put in sometimes, but I sacrificed a lot of time.
Yeah.
Like when my friends were out, they were like, hey, come on, let's carne asada, this and that. There was a point where I was going there every night, like, hey, let's do it. Carne asada,
yeah, it's like your friends want to go do something, you're there.
Let's do it. But then there came a time where it's like, man, I invested so much money into my gear,
right?
But I'm not investing a lot in like my client requisition, like, following up with them.
Yeah,
they would message me and I would have like 20 messages and I wouldn't get back to them.
Are you calling me out right now?
No, me. I'm talking about me. Just kidding. Wink. But then I had to really think about, what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Or like if this was going to be a business, I had to run it like a business.
You have, yeah.
And I think that's where it comes, like where my thing comes to like managing everything. I'm not the greatest at like managing a lot of things, but I've gotten better at it, especially my Chase days, man. Like I was just such a secure job that I thought was secure. I was like, man, like I remember towards the end, man, I was horrible. I would be late. I remember I would come visit you and Eric at the studio. Yeah. And then we would just be here and I'd be like, oh no, I'm 5 minutes late from lunch. And then I would be like, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't
and
matter.
I was just like, no, like it was horrible.
Yeah.
But I kind of knew that I was going to leave. Like,
yeah. Well, you already knew you were going to leave.
Yeah.
At that point.
I had already decided that I was going to leave because they gave you decisions. Like, you had to make a decision by such day. And I knew I was going to leave, but I also didn't want to leave like that, So I did put my best foot forward towards the end, like late the end.
Like the last 2 days.
3. And it was just a lot of changes at that time.
Yeah.
But I'm very, very happy that I was able to make that decision and be in a place where I could make that decision.
Of course.
But because I was telling Angie, I went back. I think I told you too. I went back to Chase and people are not loving it. There's so many changes and there's so many, like the customer.
They were asking you what camera they should start with, huh?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, if I want to get into photo and video.
Are you ever going to do a course? Like, basic photo and video?
While leaving Chase Bank.
Yeah. And I'm like,
Chase Bank should sponsor this video.
They should, honestly.
For how many times we've dropped their name.
I've honestly had, like, I would go back and the people would just be like, man, I just don't like it.
Swag.
Some people like it. You know, it's for them. You know, they're all about it. Obviously pays your bills. You know, you definitely want to do it. But are you happy?
Yeah.
And I wasn't. Towards the end, I wasn't. I was even thinking of going in the military, remember?
Oh, yeah. You want to go to the Navy?
Yeah, I was going to go to the Navy. My brother's in the Navy, or he's about to retire.
And they told you the workout regimen. You're like,
yeah, you know what?
Not the vibe. Not the vibe.
It's actually because I had like LASIK like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't accept
The
like, the
LASIK?
paperwork.
Oh, dang.
I had it in Mexico, so I thought they
Yeah.
thought it was probably too sketch.
Oh.
But and then
This
by
guy's
like
blind.
the 5th time that I filled out that same paperwork from the doctor in Mexico,
Yeah.
they still didn't want to reply. And I was just, you know what?
Forget it.
It wasn't meant to be. And my wife would say that.
Yeah.
She was like, don't you think out of all these 5 times that you tried,
They would have just
just said yes?
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm like, you know, you're right. And honestly, I sleep every day happy of the decision that I made.
Yeah.
And I know you've done this since ever. Like, you didn't even have like a regular job.
No.
Right? So for me, having a regular job and doing this full time, I feel like I got, you know, both worlds kind of.
Yeah.
You know, like
both
I
sides.
did work the 9 to 5, but now I work 24/7.
I started on my own business. Now I work 24/7.
Shout out TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok's
for that
hilarious.
one. So yeah, like but I love it, man. Like
Yeah.
I get to take Moy to school every day.
Mhm.
I pick him up every day, and you know, Angie takes care of a lot of stuff while I'm working. But I get to be more present, I guess you could say. But
Definitely,
I love it,
yeah,
man.
definitely an underrated thing when you're trying to make it right. It's like you don't think about the value of just being there. Huh?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Kevin Hart honestly says it best. Like, he's like, he talked to his wife and said, do you want me to be successful, but I'm not always going to be with you? Or do you want me to be with you, but not
be
really have
as
a
successful.
Yeah. Or like a good life, you know?
Right.
I think that's what he was saying. I don't think he said successful, but like live a good life, you know, be able to go and just go to
Yeah.
the movies every Friday, or
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my thing. Like,
Right.
if Moy wants to go to the movies every Friday, like I want to provide that.
You wanna do that.
You know, like
Yeah.
I don't want to just. Oh no, we can't.
Not this
Ah,
week. Daddy didn't shoot any photo shoots.
That would kill me. I always said that. I always said like if I can't like provide something for him,
Yeah.
that would kill me.
Yeah,
like,
that
it
would suck.
It would not. Yeah, I would not. Like I'm the worst.
I get it because I have dogs. So it's like the same thing.
Remember when you talked about Mother's Day?
Yeah.
It's like should people with pets do the same thing? Or would
A
that
fur
be
mom?
very disrespectful?
A fur mom over that disrespect all the real moms.
Oh my god, people are in love with pets,
Dude, I love my dogs so much.
Yeah. Do you call them pets? Is that like?
Well,
not a
yeah,
thing?
they're my dogs,
Yeah.
but I love them.
Yeah, because some people are like,
Those are my kids.
Kids, yeah.
I get it. But
your pets.
they're my pet. They're my
Okay.
dogs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
No, well, that's dope. And it's dope that you're able to provide and be present and still run a successful business.
Yeah.
You know?
It's
and
fun.
And isn't it crazy like what, because I think everyone is there, like, or is there at one point where it's like, oh, someone messaged me about doing some photos of something crazy that you don't even care about, or that they're trying to like lowball you. It's like, hey, we have an $80 budget for you to shoot for 3 hours or for forever. And you're kind of like, yeah, should I do it? Yeah, I'm just going to do it. What else am I going to do? You know, it's like, I might as well do it. And now it's like, sorry, man. You're not worth, it's not worth my time.
It's not worth your time, yeah.
Unfortunately, but.
I remember in the beginning, or, you know, it was more like, man, I don't know if I'm going to have a paycheck or like money next month.
Yeah.
You know, because now I think of it as like almost like a month-to-month kind of thing in my mind, knowing that I'm going to shoot next month, but I don't know if it's going to like a photo shoot's going to pan out, or like a big project is going to pan out.
Right.
So I'm almost tempted to like, oh yeah, I'll shoot your birthday party for 5 hours.
For whatever money,
You know,
small amount.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's because those, I've always said like $100 is $100 I didn't have,
Right.
or $150 is $150 I didn't have. So yeah, I'll just take time out of my
Day to
do that. But then it started being like, okay, it was a Friday and I have anything Saturday, but then somebody would call me Friday night and say, hey, can you shoot tomorrow? yes.
Yeah.
Knowing that I've already planned like a Saturday with my family. And then it just started taking a toll, you know? And then my wife was like, hi, well, when are you available?
Suck, basically.
Yeah, like
You
basically, when are you available?
Yeah.
And Moy would always sometimes he would be like, you're always working, Dad. And I'm like, well, yeah, I got to buy
you
more
suck
toys.
times 2.
Yeah,
that sucks
more.
because you suck from 2 people.
Yeah,
I just get it from Mariana.
Moy starts realizing now, like if I don't pick him up and I don't tell him, like he'll be like, "Oh, Dad always has to work," you know.
Yeah.
And but if I tell him, like literally my week plan, he'll remember. He'll be like, "Oh yeah,
no,
he's not
working
today.
Yeah, he's not gonna be able.
And it'll be chill. So I have to remember to tell him.
Yeah.
And if Angie tells him and I don't, he'll get upset.
Yeah.
But if I tell him in advance, he'll be cool with it.
Cool.
But it's one of
like
those
you
things.
guys agreed upon it. It's
Yeah.
like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna check mark these dates for you.
And it's like it used to be Angie be like upset that I'm not there. Now it's
Right.
Moy.
Yeah.
So,
that's fair.
but it was like I've always wanted to provide. It wasn't just because, I hate you guys. Like I'm gonna go work.
Yeah.
No, I just always wanted to be able to have money. I guess you could say to provide.
I think about that sometimes too, where I'll be like in the middle of taking on a job that maybe not last minute, but like a job that does take up a bit of time, and I'll be in the middle of it, and you know, I think to myself, did I take this because it was a good opportunity, you know, with whatever kind of client? Did I take it because it fit in the schedule, or did I take it because I feel like it was something that was going to benefit not just me but my girlfriend,
exactly,
for plans, all these questions, right? It's like, why did I take this job on? Like, was I pumped up about it? What XYZ? And like the last thing I want to do is like take a job for like the selfish reason of like, it's a really great opportunity, that's why I have to miss like your birthday, like no, like I wouldn't want to do that. But who knows? Like, I guess it's not just black and white, right? It's like, maybe it is a crazy good opportunity, and you have to kind of like sacrifice, times or special moments, and maybe it makes sense, if you talk it over with the people you have to talk it over with, right? But yeah, I would hate to like to cut into personal time because I was like, yeah, it seems easy. All I gotta do is set up a tripod and press record, because that's all you want. And I'm making however much money I make. Then that's cool. I don't care. Like my girlfriend will understand. We'll hang out tomorrow. Yeah, it's like I don't want to.
It just comes to like the point of how much money is it actually worth? To spend time with a loved one, right? Basically, But that
when you put it like that, it's like, oh my god. That sucks.
I'm only worth $200.
It's like, you mean $1,000 was worth like my Christmas and New Year's, you not being here, like just that.
Yeah, it's hard to justify those times too. Like Christmas, New Year's. This is the last year. That was the first year I had off.
Someone contacted me Christmas Day asking to shoot like every day up to New Year's. And I'm like, that's gonna be pricey, bud. First of all, but then I realized, I'm like, okay, in my head I was thinking like, all right, this is how much it cost, and this is how much it's gonna cost because of the time.
There has to be a markup too.
And then I thought to myself, I can't mark this up enough right now. I have to be home, and I was like, you know what, I can't do it. I'm sorry. I gotta be home, that was it. But yeah, I mean, I think that was a great decision. I loved the holidays, and it was good to be home. And if I would have not been home, I know I would have been kicking myself in the ass thinking, what am I doing? I don't care how much money you're paying me. I don't want to be here, It's not that I would do that to any of my other clients. I love you guys, and every moment that I spend with you is amazing.
It's just funny because when I used to work at Chase, all I wanted to do is be out of Chase. And I would be like, don't even pay me. Like, don't pay me all these days that I want to miss. But I had to be there because you have to, in the long run, think of like, well, this is a paycheck I need next year, So just for these 2 holidays, So we, they just kept kept me because
that's how
of
they
that.
get you. Yeah,
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, here's a little bonus, or
Here's $10.
Here's more.
Thanks.
And it's like, no way. Like, I can't imagine. But
Yeah.
I'm happy. Like you said, I'm happy I went through that,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like I'm in a better position mentally,
Mm-hmm.
and with my family. Like, we're at peace. Like, we can do a lot of stuff. I can just get up and we can go somewhere, unless Moy has class. Like, we're trying to be good
You're like,
parents.
damn it, school.
My brother
You
tells
suck.
me, he's like, this is when he can miss school, kindergarten.
Yeah.
He's like, he doesn't have to. Like, this
No,
doesn't mean
Angie
anything.
won't allow that.
Nope. No. Angie went to school for teaching, and she's like, no, she's all about it. She's all this much about it. She's like, any excused absence, like, she'll get. Like, we take more to the doctor or something, and we're like about that letter. You know? Like, and then the other day she checked his absences, and then one was unexcused.
So she called.
And no, she went and she's like, I have video picking him up. What are you talking about?
Oh,
Yeah. He actually went to school.
And they said that he missed.
He didn't, yeah. But I'm assuming it's like they roll called and he didn't say.
And he didn't say anything.
Or the teacher missed it.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know. But
Moy
Angie was
Moy
like.
was giving the teacher the silent treatment.
Angie's all about that. You
let her handle it.
Yeah, she can do that stuff.
That's her thing.
But yeah, man, like, honestly, it's fun. And now we're obviously starting this new project, which is the photo room, which we want to have a lot of more guests, involved. And you don't have to be a photographer per se. Maybe like
not at all.
But
You
a
could-
business owner,
Yeah.
social media
Sell
influencer.
pics on OnlyFans, like feet pics.
Yeah, we would love to know a little bit more of that.
Some
We can
dude.
sell your pics.
Dude, I got great feet. I have Daniel. I have great feet.
Well, actually, I have not seen him, nor do I want to.
Great feet.
But but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I got great feet.
Oh, no.
I have great feet.
Can you zoom in his face? It'd be like great feet.
Great feet.
But we have a lot of things planned for this podcast.
Shout out to all of our friends that also do what we do and
Yes.
have always like helped us or like given us some kind of tip or
Yeah,
a hand
exactly.
or everyone. I mean, we
Yes.
have plenty of them.
We
So,
have a lot of friends, and not to name anybody right now because we'll miss somebody, but we'll make a list someday.
we're gonna make a list.
And we'll definitely have them on the podcast that we want. And honestly, if you guys like the set, like Jair obviously designed it.
If you hate it, tell it's Daniel's fault. He approved it. So
Yeah. What do you guys think we should do better?
Yeah.
Honestly, I know we have like fishing wire on that.
So quick story real
Yes.
quick. Daniel, since he's so buff, he was tightening the arm and while he was tightening, he broke the
elbow?
The elbow.
Yeah,
So
I think
now
it's on the
all it
elbow.
does is stand straight up. So we put a little fishing wire. Can you see it?
Yeah, you can see a little bit right there.
So that it was held down. A new one was ordered.
Yes,
new one was ordered.
As soon as I twisted it twice and it broke off, my next instinct was to just order a new one.
Instead of trying to fix it.
No, I could not fix it. I tried for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
It made me mad. I didn't want to do it. I was not about it. I just ordered a new one. We'll get one for the next podcast. We'll be ready.
Yeah.
Maybe we can use it.
Maybe, when guests
Yeah, sure.
hang little trinkets from here.
Yeah,
Ornaments.
photos of them.
Yeah, photos. That would be cool. We can take photos of our guests.
Hey, that would be sick.
I like it.
I like it too.
Polaroids.
Yes.
Right?
That's so expensive.
Is it?
I mean,
Well, what do we-
we'll do it.
What else are we going to do? Use our digital cameras? We only have 6 of them.
That's so funny. I want to get another one. I shouldn't though.
You should
No,
not.
let's not.
You have 1, 2, 3 cameras. You have so many.
We do.
I have 3 cameras too, and I want to get another.
Yeah.
But that's a different story.
Yeah, we'll get into gear another day.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Cool.
I mean, we're so excited. Thanks for jumping on the first podcast. I think we can end it here.
Do you think anyone has stayed this long?
I hope so. I hope so because we put in a lot of work for this.
But you know what? I think above anything else, like I like that we were able to have this conversation because we know
Yeah.
our stories.
Yeah.
But like to just hear it again and just putting it out there,
Yeah.
not being on our phones, not being distracted with anything else, like it was dope. It was chill.
Yeah. And then the other
I
thing
liked
too is like a lot of people that may follow us on Instagram and things like that or social media, they can get to know us too.
Yeah.
And we're kind of cool. I mean, we're not boring or anything like that. We like to think that we're cool.
But I'm not cool with you.
But yeah, definitely. Hopefully you see this everywhere because we're going to try to put it everywhere, literally everywhere.
Plaster
I'm going to try to, anywhere. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to do the whole Spotify, Apple.
We can figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But for now, I know for sure it's going to be on YouTube.
Yeah.
And we got to get all those accounts opened.
Oh, fun.
Yes.
Isn't that fun?
Well, I'll get the email started. And I think
it'll be easy.
It'll be easy, but we'll definitely cut it. So leave a like. You know that helps our video. Subscribe to it. Share it if you're
with
real
your
friends.
Mother, with your aunt and uncle.
If you're real friends. No. Even if you're not friends, please share it if you liked it. You know, we definitely try to do our best, and we'll only get better as we go.
Yeah. You know what's funny?
What?
I was going to close it off with, if you like this, that's cool. If you don't, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to subscribe. And you said the opposite. And I would hate to like
counter
you right now. Because all I can think of is like, and obviously like, of course we want people to see it because I think it would be awesome if they do. But I keep going back to that idea. Maybe I'm just like a rebel at this point of like I don't care about the likes, you know. Like
it's hard not to.
Yeah.
But yes, we definitely shouldn't.
No, you should not. And at the end of the day, I think what we just did and what we will continue to do is like we're able to do something that we enjoyed. Yeah. Right. So it's like if we enjoy it, that's dope. And it's like, do we need to get the approval of everybody? Yeah. But then if we just so happen to make a show that people enjoy, it opens up the doors. And I think that's the overall goal, right?
That's what we want. Yeah.
Open up doors to continue to make this at a bigger level or at a scale that people could enjoy it even more.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, if you do enjoy it, it would be awesome for you to stick around and be catching the rest of our shows. So we'll be seeing you next week.
Yeah, I think we're gonna try to do this weekly. So I think it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Also, before we leave, shout out to Orale Collective with this Jair and Eric studio.
Yeah.
I have newly been
inserted
into it only as a workspace. I just want an office to be able to edit.
Are you getting an Orale tattoo?
Maybe.
Yeah, we got it. Eric and I did. Yep, on our butt cheeks. You want it? You got to do it. You're there. You get it done. You come back and show us. We're like, oh my God. Why'd you do that?
If I do, it'll be like on my hand so I can do this.
Like you're a football player catching passes.
But so shout out to them for definitely letting me tag on to Orale Collective. It is their studio. I just want to have a space to edit, but also for Jair to shout out having it so we can shoot this. I think this is a great space.
It's an awesome space.
It's fun, and we are getting a little bit more creative with it. And we just hope that you guys like it.
Yeah.
Or
not.
Or not.
You don't have to like it.
But guess what? We're going to continue to do this.
But you should love it.
You should love it.
You should love it. You should definitely love it.
Mom, I'm talking to you.
Oh, my mom's going to text me as soon as she sees this that I'm fat.
Oh, no.
She always does that.
No.
I love that. It's the best.
I'm glad your mom doesn't know me that well because she'll probably say the same
She'll say something still. She'll say something.
Oh, no.
No, my mom's dope.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Thanks so much for tagging on. If you stayed this long,
we're all done.
We're all done.
We'll see you guys.
Peace.
Peace.